Now that the 2024 Toyota Tacoma has finally been released, gotten its EPA certification from the government, are we finally going to start seeing them in volume on dealer lots? So it's finally happened. You know, I was really starting to wonder. Matter of fact, I made a video about this not too long ago about what the holdup was. You know, Toyota had originally announced, I saw the press release, that the new 2024 Tacoma would start to show up on dealer lots at the end of December 2023 or at the beginning of January 2024. Well, now, of course, we are through January, and they're still not appearing in mass on the lots. And the reason is, as it turns out, was because of the government. It's always about the government, isn't it? Apparently, there was some sort of failure, for whatever reason, of the government to provide the EPA, I should say, certificate for the new Toyota Tacoma. That's where they certify that the mileage that Toyota says the new truck is going to get is going to get. Now, one of two things happened here. Either the government drug its feet for whatever reason, who knows, politics, or the new Toyota Tacoma did not get the mileage that Toyota said it was going to get. That fuel economy was worse than it was going to get. I can only assume that it's not somehow better. I don't know why the government would care if it was better than it was stated. But anyway, recently that hold on those certificates has been resolved. And Toyota now has the ability to start shipping, or at least delivering, these new Tacomas. Now, we do know that Toyota started manufacturing them late last year. So there should be a ton of Toyota Tacomas sitting around ready to be delivered. And by the law, I guess the rule is, my understanding is that dealerships can't sell vehicles without EPA certificates. So they could potentially have them on the lot, which kind of puzzles me a little bit. I would think if that was the case, Toyota would have gone ahead and shipped them, and then they'd be sitting on the lots, but have those do not sell or whatever tags on them, right? But might be that Toyota didn't do that because if the government did not, in the end, provide their certificates, or if maybe the new Tacoma got way worse fuel economy than it was originally stated, that they would have to make some changes to the truck. So they didn't want them out in the field and then have to do a bunch of things to them to conform or satisfy the government requirements when it comes to EPA rating. So we're going to go with that. We're going to assume, you know what happens when you do that, that's the reason Toyota didn't go ahead and send these trucks out and actually deliver them. Now, I have seen recently, I've heard, that there is a Toyota Tacoma, or was, available on a lot near me. I looked, I don't see it now, so I'm assuming it was gone. It did have a sales pending on it, so it's probably already been delivered. I did see another one, and this one I verified. I went to the dealer's site, I saw the video, all that stuff, that they actually had one. Or maybe they still have one. I'd be shocked if it's still available. Honestly, I haven't checked within the last day or two. So they are starting to show up, and I suspect we're going to see those allocation numbers really explode on Toyota's site. The last time I ran it for my area, I think it was 22. They showed 22 Toyota Tacomas within I believe it was a 20 or 50 mile radius of where my zip code is, that were in allocation. Still in the build phase, and that's what you have to be careful with. Even though this EPA hold appears to be gone, still these trucks have to be delivered. And I have noticed on some dealer websites, I've kind of looked around the country at different ones, you'll see two different ways that they're showing or advertising the new Tacoma. They've got an ad on there or inventory that looks like the truck is there. Doesn't really say anything else. And then you have others on the same dealer site that say in the build phase, or something about transit or whatever. So just make sure if you contact a dealer, or maybe you're going to take a road trip because you're really jonesing for this new truck, that you verify with a human, a trustworthy human, that the Toyota Tacoma you're interested in or that you want to go see is actually physically on the lot. Because I have found a lot of dealerships won't tell you that. They want to get you there on the property because the old adage is the longer you can keep somebody at the dealership, the more likely they are to buy a vehicle. But of course, first you actually have to get them there. And one way to get them there with the new Tacoma is to tell them that they're available, but be a little gray in what available means. So what does this mean to me? You know, I've mentioned that I'm not going to pay the higher prices, and I'm not. So obviously, I'm not going to be one of the first ones lining up for the new truck because it's just not worth it to me to pay a market premium for a Toyota Tacoma. I did it once before on a Honda Civic Type R when they first put that car back out several years ago, and kicked myself ever since I did it. It's money I lost. It was $5,000. That's a lot of money. It's money that I lost that I never got back. Maybe if I'd have held on to the car for 20 years, maybe it would have appreciated enough. I don't know. I don't think so. But I will never do that again. So that cuts me out right at the beginning. And that's another thing you need to check. You know, if you find a dealer and if you verify they have one, make sure you verify what the pricing is. At least know up front. I mean, if you're willing to pay an aftermarket adjustment or an aftermarket premium, then make sure that you know about that before you go. Because showing up, again, you drive a couple, 3 hours, whatever, you show up, there's that nice shiny Tacoma sitting there, and then you see a little sticker on the window that says $5,000 or $10,000 even market adjustment. Unless you're willing to pay that, that's probably going to make for a really bad day for you. And again, you need to ask that question before you jump in the car and take that trip, because the dealership probably not going to tell you that. They want to have you there and see that nice shiny new Tacoma and convince you to buy it. That's the sales part of it for them, right? I don't know. But anyway, I'm pretty excited that this hold is over. I knew there was something going on. People had talked about, well, it's engineering and it's parts and shortages and workers and all that. It was none of that. It was an EPA hold due to non-provision, I guess, of EPA certificates. Crazy thing. I've heard of this happening before, though, so this isn't really unique to the Toyota Tacoma, and it's not like the government is singling out Toyota for some reason. And I'm sure they have good reason. Obviously, you know, before they release a truck, they do need to certify that it is and does what the manufacturer says it will. I mean, think about that. If you were to go buy this truck and the government didn't certify it, but it wasn't required, so Toyota puts it'll get, I don't know, 30 miles per gallon or something like that on the sticker. You get it, you bring it home, and it gets 10. Surely you would be disappointed, and I can kind of understand why what's happening has happened. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know. Are you excited now? Can you just not wait to get out there and put your hands on this new truck? I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.